Hey everyone, it's Erin. I'm filling in for Monday night flow class today. We will get started this evening on our backs. So, rolling down to a comfortable position, whatever that looks like for you, maybe with legs and arms out long, perhaps planting the soles of the feet wide on the mat, bent knees falling together. Perhaps resting hands on your body somewhere. If you'd like to do so, closing the eyes, bringing the attention inward. We'll do a quick scan of the body from the crown of the head all the way down to the toes. Noticing any areas of tension, any physical sensations. And simply making note of these things, allowing them to be there. And starting to bring the attention to the breath. What is the quality of the breath like today coming into your practice? Is it fast or slow, deep or shallow? And first, just noticing. And then we'll start to consciously lengthen and deepen the breath. Inhaling through the nose, drawing breath into the belly, ribs, and chest. And exhaling through the nose, chest, ribs, belly. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest. Exhale, chest, ribs, belly. And using this 3-part breath to elongate and smooth out your inhales and exhales. And if you would like to do so, I invite you to set an intention for this practice tonight. Whatever that might be, maybe it's something you feel like you need more of in your life, something you've been working on. Maybe it's something you would like to send out into the world, or something you just like to cultivate in your own life. We'll take a collective breath to seal that in, exhaling all the air out of your lungs, and then sealing the lips once again. Inhaling deeply, filling up the whole chest cavity, and then exhaling out the mouth, sighing audibly. And if you haven't kept the eyes open, gently blinking them back open to let the light of your room come back into your vision. We'll bend the knees if you have not already done so. Draw them in towards the chest. Wrap the palms of your hands around the shins or knees, giving your legs a nice squeeze. And exhale to release. We'll start to just draw some circles with the knees on the ceiling. And keep your hands connected to your legs or not. Maybe bringing them out to a T. Feeling the lower back connecting and rolling against the floor. And take your circles in the opposite direction. And then slowly come back towards stillness. And we'll send the left leg out long, keeping right knee bent in towards the chest, and we'll interlace fingers behind the right thigh, and then start to bend and straighten through that right leg. Driving the heel up towards the sky, keeping toes flexed through both feet, keeping that left leg active. And the next time you straighten the right knee, we'll start to point and flex through that right foot. And take some circles through the ankle. And warming up some of our joints here. And then switch the direction of your circles. We'll inhale to straighten up towards the ceiling. And then exhale to bend our right knee at a 90-degree angle. Right palm comes to connect to the inside of the right knee. Left hand can come to the floor, maybe to left hip. Here we'll inhale at center. And then exhale to drop the right knee out towards the right, keeping a bend in the leg. And then opening through the inner right thigh. Inhale to center. And exhale to drop that leg out to the right. And you just do 2 or 3 of these at your own pace. Meet with that right knee back at center. And then switch out the legs. Right leg comes long to the floor. Left knee comes in. And then we'll interlace fingers behind the left thigh. And start to bend and straighten through the left knee. Keeping both toes flexed again. Really reaching through the left heel as you send it up towards the sky, and also equally reaching out through the right heel like you're going to step on the wall at the end of your mat. And then next time you straighten the left knee, keep that leg up there and start to point and flex through left ankle. Take some circles, foot. Maybe getting some cracks and pops as we do that, switching directions, back circles. And then inhale to straighten. And exhale to bend left knee to a 90-degree angle. Bringing left hand to connect to the inner thigh and knee. We'll inhale at center, and then exhale to drop left knee out to the left, opening up, then left leg. Inhale to center, exhale to open, and again we'll just do 2 or 3 of these. And then after your last round, coming back to center, and then exhale to send both legs out long. Inhale to reach arms overhead, body stretch, reach the fingertips and toes. And then exhale to curl knees into chest once again. And we'll make our way up to a seated position, either rocking and rolling along the spine or coming off to one side. And pressing up to a cross-legged seat. And here we'll start by just finding the sits bones on the ground. Finding our nice tall spine. Reaching through the crown of the head, like almost as if you're like an ornament on a tree. So like there's a little string attached to the top of your head that's tugging you up from the top. All right, our next inhale, bring arms out wide to a T, palms face forward. Really squeeze the shoulder blades together here. So really creating an opening and a broadening through the chest. Really feeling that hug in the back body between the backs of the shoulders. And then we'll exhale to wrap arms around, bringing opposite palm to opposite shoulder, widening through the back of the shoulder blades this time. Inhale to open, squeeze shoulder blades together. And then exhale to wrap arms around, maybe taking opposite arm on top, broadening the backs of the shoulder blades. We'll continue. We'll do a handful of these on each side, just getting into the shoulders. Almost like you are making a cat-cow movement, just with the upper body here. Arching and opening as you inhale, tucking and curling as you exhale. Let's do 2 more. Inhale your arms out wide, and then we'll exhale to bend at the elbows, coming to cactus arms. So palms face forward. Here we'll inhale at center, and here we'll keep our shoulders pretty neutral. We're not going to try and squeeze or curl too much. We'll just keep them elbows in line with shoulders. So inhaling here, and then we'll exhale to drop palms forward, bringing the forearms horizontal with the ground. Inhale to come back up. And exhale to come forward. Feeling the rotation of the shoulder and its socket here is what we're going for. So letting this movement really originate from the shoulder rather than the hands. A couple more of these. And then after your next round, we'll just drop our arms down, roll up the shoulders for a minute. We'll do one more little shoulder rotation here before we move on. We'll inhale to bring arms out wide. Again, this time palms will face up. And again, we're going to think about originating this movement from the shoulder socket rather than from the hands. But as we exhale, inhale to begin, and then exhale to rotate arms until palms face towards the floor. Inhale to open up. Exhale to rotate down. And just move through several of these on your own. Paying attention to the sensation in the shoulder rather than trying to crank the hand and the forearm over super far. Next, inhale, palms up. And then exhale, we'll bring palms back to the knees. Take a few shoulder rolls. Inhaling up to the ears and exhaling to drop down. Going the other direction. And we'll let that go. And we'll rock forward to all fours. And into our neutral tabletop. From here, again, starting by just finding a neutral spine. So maybe we have a tendency to let the mid-back drop here, making sure to pull the belly button up towards the spine. Maybe think about tucking the tailbone a little bit, keeping the shoulders nice and strong so avoiding dropping or pressing out too far, just keeping kind of a nice neutral, natural spine, and the natural curves in their place. And once we found our starting position with our neutral tabletop, we'll inhale to sweep right fingertips up towards the sky, opening up to a twist. And then just take some big circles with that right arm. Keeping the chest open to the side of the mat here. Switching the direction of our circles. And thinking about really reaching through the fingertips as we do this to feel the full range of motion of that shoulder joint. Next time your arm comes up over your head, we'll inhale here. And then we'll exhale to bring right fingertips forward, dropping the chest parallel with the floor once again. And then we'll send left toes up and back, lifting the left foot and knee off the ground. And into our balancing tabletop. Inhale here. Exhale, we'll curl knee and elbow underneath us, coming together to touch. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to curl. One more inhale to lengthen. And exhale to curl. Inhale, lengthen one more time. And then we'll exhale back to tabletop. Maybe taking a round of breath here. And then on your next inhale, we'll sweep left fingertips up and open, coming into a twist. And then start to take some big circles through the left shoulder. Reaching through fingertips, keeping the chest open towards the side of the mat. Switching the direction of your circles. then next time, those left fingertips reach up towards the sky. We'll inhale to hold. And then exhale to bring left fingertips forward. Inhale to lift right leg, coming into our balancing tabletop. Inhale to hold. And then exhale to curl elbow and knee together to touch. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to curl. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curl. Last inhale, we'll lengthen. And then exhale back to neutral tabletop. And here we'll just take some organic movement. Maybe that would be cat-cows or rolling through the spine, maybe some side-to-side movement, forward and back. Whatever you want. You have several breaths here to move in a way that feels good to you. And to simply do whatever your body is calling for right now. And then we'll come back to finding stillness, meeting in our tabletop. And then we'll bring big toes together to touch. Widen the knees out and send the hips back to heels. Forehead comes down to the floor for child's pose. And simply taking some deep, big breaths here. Feeling the connection between your body, floor beneath you. Feeling grounded, safe. If you like, on your next inhale, you can walk both hands over to the right, maybe crossing left hand on top, and reaching back through left hip, opening through the left side of the body. And inhaling to walk hands towards center, and then exhaling to bring both hands over to the left. Again, maybe crossing right hand over the top, opening the right side of the body, reaching through right hip. Inhale, walking both hands back towards center. Back in our child's pose. The next inhale will lift the forehead and slither forward onto the belly, sending legs up long behind us. And then lifting the chest, lifting the chin for baby cobra, little to no weight in the hands. Inhale here. Exhale to press through tabletop and tuck toes before sending hips up and back into downward facing dog. This being our first time in down dog of this class, we'll just take a few breaths to get any movement out that you want to, maybe pedaling feet, rocking forward and back, lifting and lowering heels, bending and straightening knees. Whatever whatever helps you get settled into your down dog. And we'll find stillness for a couple of breaths, reaching up through the tailbone, keeping a gentle bend in the knees so that the hips can really lift, taking any rounding out of the lower spine. Next inhale, we'll bring gaze up towards the fingertips. And exhale to walk feet up to meet the hands and fold over the legs, bringing a deep bend into the knees here so that the belly can rest against the thighs. Taking some swaying motion here, maybe rocking side to side, maybe crossing opposite hands over up through elbows, coming into a right dog. Getting into our forward fold. Push the grip on the hands if you've taken that. And we'll release fingertips back towards the ground. Inhale, we'll lift halfway, hands come to shins or thighs. Exhale to fold. Inhale, sweep arms up overhead, coming all the way up to stand. And exhale, bring hands to heart center, Tadasana, mountain pose. Finding yourselves in an upright, standing shape for the first time in class today. Feeling the weight distributed across the feet. And let's just do a little balance play here. So maybe rocking the weight back into the heels, rocking it forward into the toes, to either side, making some circles, feeling the edge of your balance here in Tadasana. And then finding neutral after playing around with all of that. In place where the weight is distributed evenly across the whole sole of the foot. We'll inhale together. Exhale to drop hands down towards hips. Inhale to sweep arms up overhead. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step the feet back to plank pose. Option to drop the knees here. Inhale. And then exhale to lower chest or whole body down to the ground. Inhale, baby cobra or up dog. And exhale back to downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze comes to the top of the mat. Exhale, step feet to meet hands, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, we'll sweep arms overhead. Then exhale, hands to heart center, Tadasana. Taking one or two full breaths here. And on your next inhale, sweeping arms up overhead. Exhale, this time bending at the elbows, baby back bend. Inhale to reach fingertips up. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant hands, step feet back. You can move straight into down dog or move through your flow. 3 breaths, whatever you choose to do. Meeting back in down dog. Inhale, gaze up towards the mat, top of the mat. Exhale, step feet between or to meet hands. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, arms sweep up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Through one more. Full sun A like that, your own pace. And add or subtract any shapes as you go. Simply doing what feels best in your body today. Inhale to begin, arms up overhead. And exhale to continue through your own flow, whatever it might look like. And meet back in downward facing dog. And on your next inhale, sweep right toes up towards the sky. 3-legged down dog. And then exhale to step right foot in between hands, dropping the back knee, coming into a low lunge. Inhale, drop the hips, lift collarbone, maybe lift the gaze. Then exhale to straighten the right knees and hips back for half split. Inhale, sink forward, low lunge. Exhale, moving back, half split. You can just move through these two shapes a few times at your own pace. Inhale, meet back in our low lunge. And then tuck the back toe, exhale. And then inhale, lift back knee, arms sweep overhead, coming into a high lunge. Holding here for 3 breaths. Maybe sinking hips a little deeper, feeling that opening in the left hip flexor. Last inhale, we'll lift. And then exhale, we'll bring the weight into the front foot and step forward, coming to the top of the mat. And then the left knee will come up to one-legged Tadasana. Left toes are flexed, fingertips reach up. Inhale. Exhale, sweep arms down. Right hand can come to right hip, and then left arm will connect to left inner knee. We'll inhale at center, and then we'll exhale to open that left knee up to the left side. Inhale back to the center. Exhale to open. Inhale to center. Exhale to open. One more. Inhale to center. Exhale to open. Inhale, we'll come back to center, arms come up overhead. And then exhale, we'll step back to high lunge. Inhale here. Exhale, circle arms back towards the ground. And step the right foot back to down dog. Option here to move through flow or simply hold down dog with 3 breaths. And once you're back in our down dog, we'll inhale left toes up this time. And then exhale left foot in between hands. And drop the right knee to come into a low lunge. Inhale to sink hips forward, collarbone lifts. And exhale to send hips back into half splits. Inhale forward. Exhale, sinking back, flexing left toes back towards the body. And then just move through these 2 shapes a few more times on your own. On your next inhale, coming forward to half splits. Exhale to tuck the back toe, lift the knee. And then inhale to come up to high lunge. Holding for 3 breaths here. Laying a strong foundation in the lower body. And lifted through the ribs and shoulders and fingers. Next inhale, we'll ground through the left sole of the foot. And then step forward to one-legged Tadasana. Right knee comes up. Inhale. And exhale to drop hands to the hips or left hand to left hip, right hand to right inner knee. Inhale to begin at center and exhale to open right leg out to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale to open. Inhale to center. Exhale out. One more inhale to center. Exhale to open. Inhale back to center, arms up overhead. And then exhale to step back to high lunge. Inhale here. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Step left foot back. And again, move through your flow. Or simply hold down dog. Three breaths. Whatever your transition looks like. Kneading back and downward facing dog. We'll inhale, right toes up overhead again. And then exhale to step right foot in between hands. And inhale to circle up and open out to warrior 2. Again, feeling our strong foundation here. Nice deep bend in the front knee. Grounding through the back of the left foot. Arms out to a T, gaze over our front fingertips. Here we'll inhale to straighten the front knee and lift arms up overhead. And then exhale to sink back into warrior 2. Inhale to lift. Exhale to sink. One more inhale to lift. And then exhale to sink. Inhale here. Exhale, we'll reach through our front fingertips and then bring either elbow to knee or straight arm to the inner right leg. Left arm comes up overhead for extended side angle. 2 full breaths here. And next inhale, we'll drop left hand back, straightening front leg, right fingertips come up overhead for reverse triangle. 2 breaths here. And then inhale, tick-tock forward, back into extended side angle. And exhale to reverse triangle. And just move through these 2 poses a few times at your own pace. And after your next round, we'll meet back in warrior 2. Inhale. And then exhale to circle arms towards the ground. Step the right foot back. And either hold downward facing dog or move through your flow. Deep breaths here to create your own sequence. Leaning back in downward facing dog. And move to the other side. So inhaling left toes up this time. And exhale to step that foot in between hands. Inhale, circle up to warrior 2. And exhale to settle in. Setting up our foundation before we start moving again. Keeping shoulders dropped away from the ears. Keeping the chest and the hips opened out to the side of the mat. And next inhale, we'll straighten through the front knee, lift fingertips up overhead. And exhale to sink into warrior 2. Inhale to lift. Exhale to sink. One more, inhale, lift. Exhale, sink. Inhale here. Hold. And exhale to reach through left fingertips and rock forward into your version of extended side angle. And maybe that top arm reaches straight up. Maybe you bring it out towards the front of your mat to create a nice long line. You right fingertips in the right hand. One more breath here. And then we'll inhale to straighten front leg. Drop the right hand back, left fingertips up for reverse triangle. 2 breaths. Inhale to lift. Exhale to rock forward into extended side angle. Inhale, reverse triangle. And again, just moving through these 2 shapes at your own pace. Of creating your own little dance here with our warrior postures. And then after your next round, We'll inhale to meet back in warrior two. And then exhale to windmill, hands down to the mat. Step the left foot back. Either hold down dog or move through your flow. 3 breaths here to decide what you want your practice to look like tonight. Kneading back in downward facing dog. And just take a couple breaths here and pause. Just a moment of stillness before moving on. Next inhale, gaze will come to the top of the mat. Exhale, feet step forward to meet hands, folding over legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, arms sweep up overhead. Then exhale, hands to heart center, Tadasana. Mountain pose. Next inhale, we'll bring that right knee up, one-legged Tadasana once again. And then exhale, we'll come into tree pose. So the sole of that right foot can connect to either left ankle, maybe kickstanding toes on the ground, left shin, or all the way up to left thigh. Choosing where the hands go, you can keep them at heart center. You can open them out towards the ground, or you can start to sweep fingertips up towards the sky, growing your branches. Finding an unmoving spot to focus your gaze on. Next inhale, we'll bring that right knee back forward, one-legged Tadasana. Maybe bring hands to hips, and exhale, plants to the left, and shake out that ankle a little bit. And then on our next inhale, we'll sweep arms overhead, and lift the left knee up for beginning in one-legged Tadasana. And then exhale to find your tree pose. Maybe it is the same as the first side, maybe it's not. Again, finding that drishti, unmoving spot to focus the gaze on. Next inhale, hands can come to hips. Left knee comes back up to one-legged Tadasana. And then exhale to replant left foot. You shake out the legs again. We'll inhale to sweep arms up overhead. And exhale to fold forward over the legs. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant hands, step feet back, and this time lower all the way down to the belly. Chin comes to the floor. Then we'll interlace hands behind us at the lower back. Zip the legs up and press the toes into the ground, so much so that the knees come away from your mat. And then on an inhale, we'll reach through fingers towards the back of the mat to lift the chest, coming into locust pose. Holding for 3 breaths here. Inhale to lift a little higher. And then exhale to release hands, lower all the way to the mat. One ear can come down, letting heels fall away from each other. Next inhale, we'll find chin at center again. Relace the hands, lift the legs back up for preparing for one more round of locust. And as you're set up, we'll inhale to press toes into the ground, lift the chest away, reach through the fingertips or interlaced fingers, and hold for 3 breaths. Inhale to lift, and exhale to release. Other ear to the mat. Arms can come alongside the body. Taking a moment of total relaxation. And then from here, we'll reach arms up overhead and just roll onto our backs. Seeing ourselves in our supine position here, we'll bend both knees, plant the soles of the feet on the ground once again. And then we'll cross right ankle over left knee, going into a supine figure 4. Flexing the right toes. We'll first start just by pressing the right knee energetically away from the upper body. And that might be enough for you. If you want to deepen the opening in that outer right hip, you can start to bring left knee closer in towards the upper body. Maybe bring hands behind left thigh. Or another option is to drop both legs over to the left, eventually planting the sole of the right foot on the ground, finding a twist. And wherever you decided to go, we'll take a few breaths. You've taken a twist or started to hug that left knee in. We'll start to make our way back towards our starting shape with the left foot planted on the floor. And then release the right ankle back down. You windshield wipe the knees out a few times. And then move to the second side. So crossing left ankle over right knee, pressing the right or the left knee away from the body, flexing right toes. And then maybe starting to draw right knee in towards the chest, or drop the legs over to the right, coming into a twist. Choosing your own adventure. And then taking a few breaths wherever you've decided to go. And then we'll start to make our way back towards supine figure four. And then exhale to release both feet back down to the ground, keeping knees bent. We'll bring both arms alongside the body, palms face down by the hips. And then grounding through the soles of both feet, we'll inhale to lift the hips up towards the sky. Coming into bridge pose. An option here to interlace fingers behind the back again, pressing through our forearms to lift chest, or simply press through palms with arms alongside the upper body. Keeping some space in the front of the throat. Inhale. And exhale to roll the spine back down to the ground, one vertebrae at a time. We'll walk the feet in a little closer together to touch. And then bring soles of the feet together and let the knees fall out wide, coming into Supta Konasana. And here, choosing where the arms go. Again, maybe you simply come along, palms face up or down. Hands might rest on the body or come up overhead. And simply doing what calls to you. Maybe closing the eyes, starting to slow down the mind. Again, over the next few breaths, if you have any other movements or shapes that you want to take before the end of class, I invite you to do so. And if you're ready to start moving towards your final Shavasana, you can also do that. Eventually, we'll all come to a place of stillness and rest. Whatever that might be. And let the eyes drift closed. And simply come back to the breath. And letting the physical body be held up by the earth beneath you. Beginning to deepen the breath again. And starting to bring some small movements into fingers and wrists, toes, ankles, traveling up the body, rocking the head side to side. And inhaling to reach long through fingertips and toes, taking a full body stretch. And then exhale to roll to either side, curling up into a little ball, resting your head on your arm. And taking a couple of breaths here before pressing yourself back up to a comfortable seat, keeping the eyes closed. And bring palms of the hands to cup over the eyes. And gently blink them open before letting the palms fall back down to your knees, thighs. And then inhaling, hands to heart center. And exhaling to bow forward. Moment of gratitude for our practice. Namaste. All right, thanks everyone. Have a great rest of your week, and I look forward to seeing you again.